measure on that person's body. The first thing is the body of the danshiki, and that's from your center back. Okay, so you go from the person's center back. Center back is just the middle of our neck. Yeah, just the middle of our neck. So from the center back all the way down to the hand and wherever you want the danshiki to end. So I'm going again from this side. Okay, so from the center back, that's from the backbone to the shoulder and just down to this body, however wide you want this to be. Now the basic thing about this is this will definitely be more than your bust and your hips, so it covers for what you need. So from the center back just down to the bodies. It can be for a man, it can be for a woman. These are making for myself. So that's the first thing. The next one is just the length on the body. If you're a woman passing the bust, just the length. I know that danshikis are always short, so you know the length, whatever length you want. So just those two things, your body, the measurement from the back bodies down to the armhole and to the sleeve of the person, and the second one is the length. So that's just what you will be needing for your measurement. So we'll just go to the draft. Okay, so onto the draft now. This is the fabric. Yes, so the first thing you need to do is your length. Now my length is 30. No, my short length is a 37, but this fabric is just a 60. So I'm just working with what I have to make a danshiki dress. So you know that the selvage of the fabric is always in 60s. So normally the selvage to selvage for you should be the body. So if you're going to do selvage to selvage, the first thing you will do is, you know, this will be the body and this will be the length, you know. So but I'm going the other way. Okay, so if this is the length you are going on the selvage, the first thing you measure is your gown, your danshiki length plus 2 inches. So if I wanted to go like this, my short length is actually 35 plus 2 inches, so in allowance to give me 37. So you have your 37 on fold in 2 places, then you cut out the so 2 of 37 for 2 of the length, front and back. Danshiki most times do not have joining at the shoulder line, so 2 of your length in 2 places. But you can see that this fabric will not do me 2 of my length, so that's why I am going the other way. So same thing, your danshiki length plus 2 on the selvage line. Now this is going the other way. You know your fabric is limited, selvage 60, so most people 60 will not do 2 of your length. So selvage you do your body. Okay, so I'm just going to fold this into 2. I have it to 60, so into 2 is 30. So that means my danshiki length will be a 30. It will be really short, but I don't mind. I love the fabric and I just really want to make something of it, something comfortable. So this is 2 of my length. This is 30. Normally it should be like maybe 35 plus 2, 37 in 2 places. That 2 inches extra is the allowance you fold in inside. Your danshiki has to have like a good hemming inside that will give strength to it. Okay, so now this is 30 in 2 places. I'm going to use, you know, an external fabric, leftover of the fabric, and I'll just sew it and fold it in, and you know, so I'm going to use this. So I'm going to just you know, sew this here, fold it in just 2 inches and tape. Okay, so that's why I don't have sewing allowance, but your own your length, your danshiki length plus 2 inches sewing allowance, fold into 2 places, your neckline unfold. So that's the first thing. The second thing after that is now the body. So for me, the body was what I measured, what I taught you on the mannequin. My own body is going to be, I want a 16. So whatever your body is to, you're going to be adding, I want to pin this together so that my fabric does not move. So whatever your body is, you're just going to be adding 2 inches sewing allowance. Yeah, so 2 inches sewing. So I'm just holding this together to give me ease of working. Nothing much. Okay, so my lengths in 2 places, don't forget that. So this is my neckline. So the neckline, now I now drew my back measurement. That's from the middle back down to my sleeve. So for me, I want a 16. Yes, so that's 16. I'm also adding 2 inches sewing allowance. It will give me 18. So 18 is going to be the center of the body. Then I fold that into 2. So I need 4 of 18s. It's just like how you cut a round booba. If you need to know how to cut a round booba, you can go down on the channel. We have a video on it. It's just like that. Okay, so I have 4 of my 18s on fold. Okay, so place that down. Don't forget I said this length is really short, so I'm just going to rock it. Maybe I can wear shorts in it and all that. Okay, so 18 in 4 folds. I'm going to confirm if I have my 18 here. So 18, confirm whatever you cut out. Okay, 18, 4 folds, and I can cut out the rest. Well, I'm actually thinking I should do a 15 plus a 2 inches allowance, which should give me a 17. I feel 16 might be too. 16 was what I measured on the mannequin, might be too big for me. Now my hips, if I do 16 will give me in total a 64, and my hips is a 42. So you can see that the distance. So I'm going to do 17. That means 15 of my body and 2 of the allowance. So all we need is just for you to be free. At least you should have it will be minimum of, let's say, 12 inches wider than your hips. That's why I said you don't need any other measurement. The body measurement, if your sleeve goes down well, is going to be more than your hips. Even if your bust is the biggest part of the body, it's going to be more than your bust. So I cut out the remnants and I have my danshiki body. That's all we are going to do. The only thing we have to do now is cut the neckline. Now for the neckline, most people would have it just a very simple neckline. Yes, so we're done with just the cut. It's just those 2 process. Get your length plus your 2-inch allowance, fold it into 2, get your breadth plus your 2 inches allowance, and also fold into 4. Okay, so that's just the cutting process. The next thing we'll do is I would advise, notch your two edges, so that, because since there's no line there, you will know what you're doing. Okay, so the next thing is just the neckline. For the neckline, I would just be doing my back into 4. So my back is 16 into 4 is a 4. Depends, if you want it really close to the neck, you can do this. But if you want to extend it, you can extend it. You can't do any shoulder slants because this is just like this. So for the neck depth, the back neck depth, it doesn't go lower. So you can just do 1 inch for the back neck. Then the front neck, you can notice that we folded it together, so you can't cut the back and the front differently. So what I have to do is I'm just going to, for the back neck depth, so I said 1 inch for the back neck depth. My neck width, I'm doing my back into 4, which gives me a 4. So for the front neck depth, it will be different from the back, but the trick is you can first cut them together like the back neck depth. So I'm going to first cut both of them together like the back neck depth. Okay, so after then I can now open out to have my front and back. Another thing I will do is to I'll just notch the neckline a little. So I've notched the neckline a little so that I know where I'm going to. Okay, so I can open out and decide whatever I want for the front. Okay, so for this front now, so we have the front and back different. differently. So after you've done that, you can now extend the front neckline. So whatever you want, you can do it to the front. Okay, so for this front now, if you want a round neck that will just be low, so you can see this is the middle, so you can just, I'm on the back of the fabric, you can just determine how much longer. You know the back is in one already, so if you are doing another 4 inches, that will give you a 5 inches here. So if I'm doing 4, I'm just going to panel it to that side to give me a 5. Yeah, okay, so the front neck will be different. But what I want for the front actually is an asymmetric neckline where you want to come down like this and curve it. So for that, from the neck width, I'm just going to come down to a 7. You can see this straight line, but I will bend it. So a 7, I draw it to my neck width, and I will draw this as a curve to meet it. Okay, so curve and straight down. I'm just in because I think I went too deep. Okay, so this is what I want for the neck, a curved one here and a straight line. So I have to open it out to do that. If you want a simple round neck, do your simple round neck, but for me I want an asymmetric neckline, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to, from the neckline, just get my curve, and from there I take my straight line. Okay, so this is my own asymmetric neckline. Okay, so the last thing you will need to do is now cut your facing. Your facing, you can face it in, you can face it out, anyhow you want it. And if you want pockets, outer pockets or inner pockets, I want outer pockets for this one, the inner pocket, sorry. So I've already cut my inner pocket. So my inner pocket is just going to be a 12 inch by a 9 inch. But if you want outer pocket, you can just do a 10 inches by an 8 inches, so it will show. But I want to sew this inside. Okay, so the last thing I will do is just to cut the facing for the neck. So this facing, it has to be a really wide fabric. The juice of this is you can now use another fabric for the facing and the pocket, so that you will face it. If you cut another fabric, you can just face it out, so you can use another fabric for the pocket and the facing. Okay, so for this fabric, because for this neck, because it's an asymmetric neckline, I have to open it out before I can cut my facing. I have to open it out. Okay, so it has to be like this. So after this now, I'm going to lay my fabric under it because it's an asymmetric neckline. So firstly, I lay my fabric, and I lay this on it. So how I now place it is dependent on how low I want this one to be. So I just walk towards one side of it. I'm just going to lay like that, and so what next I will do is that I will pin this neckline to the lining, and I will cut. Okay, so just pin the neckline. This is so that I can easily raise the fabric and cut it. Okay, so I just raise the inner fabric, trying to first create a hole in between it. So I've created the hole so I can lay my inner fabric well, and from the hole I can now, sewing it out, I think. Straight down like that on the sides, so that I'll just be spooning this my facing. Then the back, just going to another fabric, you can cut this in another fabric, you can make it really wide, you can do whatever you want, but this is fine for me. And I'll just sew on the fabric on this in front. Okay, so that's about the cutting. The last thing is definitely the sewing. So I told you we have our fabric already, and I notched this. So the only thing you need to do is you just sew at the sides. You just sew at the sides. So this is the sides. You know what? 2 inches. So your armhole, whatever you're busting to for. So my busting to for is 9.5. Or another thing is, you know where we ended the length, you can measure around it to get the sleeve width of that part. So mine was around here, but it has to be loose, you know. So if I want to say, let's say if I want it to be like an 18, yeah, so 18 will give me a 9. Okay, it's very close to my busting to for. My busting to for is 9.5. yeah. So we just leave that sewing. We're just going to, you know, start from 9 inches at your 2 inches, marked in 2 inches, then from 9 inches start to sew all the way down. You sew all the way down. So once you sew all the way down, you know there's excess 2 inches, so you're going to know you've sewn now, you're going to fold it in, and then you're going to now do your tipping all the way, you know. You've taped your neckline like that, so you tip it. Don't forget that this is joint. Let me use my pin so you understand what I'm saying. So that's why I notched my neckline, so that my neckline will not miss each other. So for the sewing, I go on 9 inches, and then by 2 inches. So I'm going to sew starting from these 2 inches all the way down. Okay, so now that you have sewn it, you're now going to sew in 2 inches, the 2 inches allowance all the way from beginning, leaving your armhole space. Then you're going to aim it at the sides. You know, once you fold in, you double turn. So if it's the outer pocket, you just sew all the way down. But I'm putting inner pocket too. I'm just going to mark my waistline, and I'll put 6 inches opening for my inner pocket. But for the outer pocket, so your 2 inches all the way down at both sides. So you just have your hand coming out from here, and you have everything sewn down. And then this down part, you know, you have your 2 inches. You also, after you've done all this, you also fold in that 2 inches and you tape all the way around. I'm going to use an external fabric to just join my own. So that's all about how you can cut your dashiki in easy steps. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, give us a thumbs up, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, come back for something more next week. To my viewers, I say thank you, stay safe, and bye for now. Our dashiki is done. Like I said, the sewing is just not having any armhole, and I told you yours might not be this big. I hope I'll rock it so I can put a picture before I post it. So this is just going to be, you know, your 2 inches. You first join, leave your armhole spacing, then you just join all the way. If you're putting inner pocket, you leave your inner pocket space and you sew. So after you do the sides, then you start to, you know, join the inner from one side. So you take your 2 inches, you tape it in all the way till you get up here. You also take it 2 inches all the way, you join it. You know, you have to be tactical on the machine all the way to that side. So that's how you join both sides. You first do the side taping first before you now, you know, join from all sides. There are also some danshikis that will have like a little armhole. That means from here they would, like from here they will curve it in a little. They will curve it in a little. If that's the one you want, once you curve it in, also leave your 2 inches here and 2 inches here. You know, by the time you are doing your curve, so you, by the time you sew here, you take these 2 inches differently, then sew the down part differently. But this is the one I want. I have that one just on something easy that I just clad on. It's really short, but I like it because it's big. And so that's just how you do the dashiki. Now I ended up doing the inner, this facing to the inside. Like I said, you can do it to the outside, you can change the fabric, you can, you know, put your stones on it, do your aesthetics. You can look for another fabric to do patches on it. You can stone it. I think stoning is a new deal. I'm still not concluded if I'm going to stone it. So you can stone the front, and then you can put your patches, different fabrics. You can do your outer pocket in another fabric which will match with this. You know, there are lots of creative ways. Just you know, tap into your creativity and just do something really aesthetic with the danshiki. So that's just the sewing process. Thank you, and take care.